right now you're paying for software that Claude for Small Business can replace. And most owners don't even know this exists yet. You got QuickBooks, Gmail, your CRM, your calendar, a pile of subscriptions, and you're the one holding it all together. You're the one there every single morning. In this video, I want to show you how to set up Claude for Small Business step by step. Even if you've never touched AI before, it plugs straight into the tools that you use every single day. And it takes over admin that you hate, chasing invoices, prepping your day, following up with your leads. By the end of this video, you'll have it running inside of your business. Set this up this week and spend the next year ahead of every other business owner still doing this by hand. So let's set up Claude Code for Small Business on your computer right now. Really quickly, before we start, the names are confusing on purpose. Claude CoWork is the desktop app, okay? This is in here. If we toggle this tab here, we get into Claude CoWork. Claude for Small Business isn't a separate app. It just runs inside this. When people say Claude for Small Business, that plugin is exactly what they mean. And that plugin is what we're going to install. It takes about 2 minutes. We're going to do it right now. First, open Claude CoWork. If you don't have CoWork yet, head over to claude.com, download it, and open the desktop app. If you're on a Mac or Windows, will work the same way. I'll give you a full walkthrough on this in a second, and I'll also add the link below. Once CoWork is open, look at the sidebar and go to Customize. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see Browse Plugins. Just click this, and then you'll see it's all the way here at the top. It's the first one. All you got to do is here, it will ask you to install. So similar if I go here, right, you'll have this install button, and then you can just go click install. For me, it's already installed, so we'll skip that step, and then we're going to go right into manage this plugin. Now, before we go crazy on this, let's take a look at what's inside this plugin, because there is a lot to unpack. In here, we'll have the Business Pulse, we'll have the call list, Canva Creator, Cashflow, and so on, and a bunch other skills that you can look at here all the way to tax prep. Now, what we want to do is just get a quick overview of what this actually does. So in here, you'll see Business Pulse, and then you'll see a file called Skill MD. This is kind of like an SOP that you would give to an employee that tells the AI what you would like it to do. And you can read this completely normal. There's no code whatsoever here, so you can see what it does. One prompt, one page will pull everything out of every tool, and it will give you an overview of what's going on. So pull the data in parallel, QuickBooks, PayPal, HubSpot, Google Calendar, and it then aim to, compute these metrics, kind of what is important to you, and then flag a bunch of risks, compute the output, and these are all the steps that it takes to do this task. We'll also have something called reference, and in here you'll see a bunch of references that the AI gets from what is actually good output for this specifically. So imagine this as being some master prompt where you have a big prompt and you have a bunch of reference files, and this is all packaged inside this thing called Business Pulse. Now, the way we get this to work is by actually connecting it to our real life data. So we come in here and we see, okay, we have QuickBooks, PayPal, HubSpot, Canva, DocuSign, Slack. Depending on what you use, you would want to connect it. And we're not limited to these connectors. I will explain more in a second how we can also connect to other tools that you don't see here. Now, if we see we have Gmail connected here, we could connect Google Drive, we could connect our calendar as well. And then you can go ahead, give it access to your calendar, and then it will go and connect that, and we're done. So you can do this with every single tool. Sometimes it's a little bit more complicated. Maybe QuickBooks will ask you for some permissions and steps. If you're worried that you're going to mess up some kind of data, you can always give it read-only access, right? So just read through the permissions, say, hey, I want to give you read-only access, and then it cannot really mess up anything. It cannot go write invoices for you or send invoices to a bunch of people that you didn't want to send invoices to. Although, who knows, maybe that's a good thing. Now, something really cool about this plugin is that if you're missing anything that you can see here in these connectors, it's really easy to just go add more connectors depending on your preference. For example, any tool that offers an MCP, you will be able to connect it with Claude CoWork and use it with the small business plugin as well to pull in that data. As an example, I just went over and created a new chat and I said, hey, can we add the vidIQ MCP to small business for plugin? vidIQ is just a tool that allows me to manage my YouTube videos and do keyword analysis and stuff like that. And I have a connection, and this connection is not even within Claude CoWork, right? This connection doesn't even exist. I had to custom create this connection. You can do so if you go into customize and click on connectors. Now you can see all of my connectors here, and you can see there's a couple of custom ones down here. Like for example, we have the vidIQ connector. Now, all you need to do is head over here to our good old friend Google and type in the tool you want to connect with the MCP. And most probably there will be an MCP available. And then it will usually tell you what to do, or it will outline what you need to do in order to connect that. And then you grab that in your account, mainly when you're logged into your account, you grab the little secret key and the secret to put here into the connection. You can do so if you go here and you click disconnect and you reconnect again, and then you can connect it. So for example, here you can just go click add custom connector. You can add the name and the remote MCP URL. And sometimes you'll have to put in your keys, depending if you have an account and it uses your private data or credits or something like that, then it will pull that from here. Once you added your custom connectors, you can just come into the chat and say, hey, can we add this? It will go add it for you. You click save plugin and we're all set. So this is one of the learnings as well, is these plugins is a little bit like an SOP. And with these connectors, you can have full autonomy and come in and change things as needed. So you can update it, you can add connectors. And if we go here into the plugins, we'll see here we have the skills, we have the connectors, and there's my vidIQ custom MCP. Now what we can do is go back to our chat, right? And this is where we would use this plugin. We would say, okay, I want to use the small business and I want to use the Pulse skill or whatever to pull in all this data. Now, I haven't connected my QuickBooks or anything like that because we don't even use QuickBooks for our business. However, if you do, I would go ahead and connect it with read access. And then you can use something like this, like the Pulse. For me, it might now pull in my vidIQ data. However, I might need to go adjust it just a little bit in order for it to work that way. So I'm going to go ahead and prompt that in. I'm going to say, hey, would you mind using this skill to pull my business pulse? I didn't really connect a lot of things yet, but I did connect the vidIQ MCP. So maybe you can go ahead and pull my YouTube data and give that back to me as a business pulse, kind of how my content is performing. And we'll go see how it does, because this is the beauty of using something like Claude Code with an extension like Claude for small businesses, is it's not set into stone. If you've ever done anything with automations, for example, using tools like N8N or Make or stuff like that, it was always very tied to your connector, your specific fields, and the outcome that you imagined. Now we are in an interactive chat with AI, and it can literally do anything, and it can pivot, adapt, and do stuff the way you would imagine it to do, right? So here I just gave it a simple prompt and I said, hey, I don't have much about my business. I just want you to update me about my content strategy. And it will go use this connector to then give us the output and summarize it in a way the skill was designed to give it back to us. Beautiful. So there we go. It gave me my TLDR. It says, hey, you crossed 1,000 subs today, which is kind of amazing because we just started this channel just shy of a couple of weeks ago, and we've already got over 1,000 subscribers. It broke down everything that it found from the extension that I gave it, right? So it said, hey, here are your channel metrics, your subscribers, your total views, 100,000 views. I didn't even know, but that's great. Videos published, 140 in total, and my views and so on, right? So this is really cool statistic. It's all broken down really nicely. It gave me some recommendations as well. Like, hey, this is your cadence. This is what you've been doing, your average view duration. Now I've been publishing a lot of shorts, so I guess that's completely normal. And then it said, hey, what I can pull is your cash, your sales, your pipeline, your week ahead, and your urgent emails, which is, again, because I didn't connect that data. Now, what you would want to do is come in here and make sure that you connect all of the data that you want to pull. This could be from your CRM. This could be from any other sources. And again, if you want to use something like, let's say you don't use the HubSpot CRM, which is in here, maybe you use GoHighLevel. So then let me just show you exactly how to do this, because I know that last time I did this, it was a little bit finicky. So let me go back, go to customize, skills, and connectors, and click add custom connector. Now, what we want to do here is typing GHL, MCP, for example. And then what we want to do again is just go Google this real quick, because every company that has an MCP server will tell you how to do this. And then we can go through these settings and take it really simply. So here we go, configure your client. This is what we need. Now, what you will have to do for this is you'll have to go to your settings and private integrations and get that PIT key. Now, once you've found all of the scopes that you want to give it, you go click create, and then it will give you this key here that you can copy. Now, I already copied that, so I'm going to go right back to my Claude window, and I'm going to say, hey, this is my remote server, and then I'm going to paste my key in here. Now, the remote server URL is something that you go select from the other page. Great. And now once we've connected the GHL MCP, we can just go ahead in the same chat and say, hey, why don't you connect my GHL MCP with the small business plugin as well, and then rerun the entire Business Pulse again. And now what it will do is we'll go grab that connector, add it to, and there we go. We already have my custom CRM with the small business plugin to use all of the same tools that we would want to use. Now, and as you can see, it did the TLDR again. It pulled my YouTube information and it pulled the GHL pipeline. Now, obviously, because this is just a test account that I've connected, not really to many other business operations, because each of our businesses has their own GHL account, we won't really see much activity in here. But it obviously flagged that we got a lot of conversations because we have some Instagram DM automations running from GoHighLevel right now. You can see how easy this is to just connect your tools. Now, what you could do is there's also this skill that says SMB Onboard. Now, this will ask you a bunch of questions specifically to your business, so it can tailor the information to your business specifically. For example, it will ask you what you think a good lead looks like. So don't say someone who wants a quote, say something that actually means something to you, right? Describe what a good lead is, and then use your connectors to define that. Maybe a good lead is somebody who responded to a couple of your DMs or informations, or somebody who visited your website multiple times. Many of the solutions out there like HubSpot or GoHighLevel and stuff like that already pull data that could be relevant to understand your lead quality, your sales process, and so on, and get you better outputs. And what's really cool about this is it will already go pull context out of your previous conversations. If you've never used Claude CoWork before, or Claude in general, then this might be new and it's going to start from scratch. However, if you use Claude before and you have a lot of information, then it will already go pull from other skills and plugins, say, okay, and then it will ask you, okay, how big is your business, right? And in this case, we could say, okay, we are 23 people. And then, what do? We do some YouTube. Well, we're just starting that out, but let's focus it right now on the YouTube situation. What are 3 top headaches I should be helping with? Now, this is really important. You want to be as specific as possible because generic gets killed by AI, and you want to try to feed it the information that it can use to actually help you. In here, we might say, I want to grow my YouTube channel to 100,000 subscribers. I want to make sure that I put out a lot of helpful content for everyone, and helpful is measured by the people that then click onto my resources and can get more help in my school community or through my newsletter or through my paid, coaching, which doesn't even exist yet, but that would be the goal, to really help these people as much as possible, to enable them to use AI for their business, make more money, deliver higher value services to their clients. And that's what I would like you to help me with. Voice prompting has always been my silent hack to get way more into my prompts than what I actually need. If you don't use it yet, there's a tool I use, Whisperflow. I know there's a lot of them out there. They've probably been one of the first ones. I've steered away from developing my own. I did one once, but I felt like it's just easier to pay $10 a month for them to figure it all out. And they're continuously updating it every single day. I'll probably drop a link below, which is not even an affiliate link, but it is my link. I think you get a couple weeks off or something like that. Either way, when do we want to start and continue? And then we'll go ahead. It will ask me more questions, stuff like that. And it will then know specifically how it should tailor that information to me. So I'm not going to bore you by going through all of this right now, but I would recommend you do for your business and being as specific as possible. Once you have this all installed and ready, one of the biggest things I run into with clients across the board, if this is in construction, design, build, or even fitness coaches or whatever it may be, if you're selling a service online, it always comes down to fixing constraints, no matter where you are. If you're at 10K a month, 100K a month, or 500K a month, and you're trying to grow to the next level, it always comes down to looking at your current metrics, understanding where your constraints are, and then just working on them. So for example, if you run a service-based business and you're selling a high ticket offer, you would look back at your numbers and say, okay, how many calls did I have last month? If that is how you sell, let's assume you sell on a call. Now, if you tell me last month, let's say you did 50K and you had 20 calls and your actual capacity would be 80 calls. If we look at that and we say, okay, your actual capacity would be 80 calls. If we hired another salesperson, we would have 160 calls. In that case, we would need probably at least 80 calls, if not more. Then we go back a step and we look at your metrics. Well, how are you getting these calls? Do you run paid advertising? Do you have organic views? And we look at how many views did we get, or how many clicks did we get to our landing page where we have our call booking funnel. And if we only got, let's say for these 20 calls, we only got 100 clicks. Well, that's a 20% conversion off of those 100 clicks, which is very, very, very good. Then we got only 100 clicks. How many views did we get to get those 100 clicks? And that's where the constraints is, right? If we only have 20 calls, but we should have had 80, that is our constraint. And then that's what we need to work on. So we need more reach. How do we get more reach? We run more paid advertising, or we do more organic, or both. Either way, we do more reach, we get more views, we get more clicks, we get more booked calls. And then if we have, let's say next month, we have 80 calls, but we still only signed, let's say 2 more clients. Now we know our new constraint, because now our constraint is not calls or reach, because we're at capacity. Our capacity is 80 booked calls, but we did not convert enough. So we have a sales problem, or maybe an offer problem, or both. So in this case, we had 80 calls, but we only converted 2. That's a horrible closing rate. Industry standard closing rate would be anywhere at 30% or more. If we're somewhere at around 20% or something like that, maybe not that crazy, but if we're down to 5%, well, we know we got to fix something in our sales process. So how do we pitch? What is our offer? Stuff like that. If these people are booking calls, our offer cannot be that horrible, at least what we advertise on the landing page. Then we would need to dive into the sales process and understand, are we doing a temp check with these people? Do they understand what we're selling? And why are they not buying from us? And handling objections properly, asking them questions and understanding why do they not convert? And that's exactly what we would need to work on. This skill that I built out here that I'm going to go put right into my school community, and you can just go download it for free, really diagnoses all of these constraints. Here, obviously it took in my vidIQ and stuff like that, but you just learned in this video how you can easily change these out to your own custom connectors that you use. Stripe, PayPal, QuickBooks, Calendar, whatever it is, you can connect this and let Claude understand, oh, okay, you had so many calls, this and that. And we'll go through it. We'll ask you all these questions about your business, and it will tell you in a spreadsheet style what your constraints are. So, and with this skill, you will have everything you need to actively work on your business and reach your goals, no matter what it is. If it's becoming more profitable, if it is scaling your business, making more money, making more revenue, whatever your goals are, with these 2 skills, so the fixing constraints, the small business plugin, going through all of them, specifically, using whatever you need to use with your own connectors, you can literally reach any goal you desire. If it is to go to 50K a month or 500K a month, or, reach higher profitability, these skills will tell you where the problem is, what you need to work on in order to reach that goal. So instead of needing to go to your CRM and just stare at a wall of names, sinking into this feeling of just being overwhelmed, you can now come in here into the chat and say, hey, this is what I would like to achieve. Understand exactly what your constraints are and how to work on them. And Claude will actually do the work for you. It will go through your accounting. It will look at your invoices and your payment processor. It will match those. It will look at your Stripe, your PayPal. It will check the money and see if it matches and if it's good. It will do all this for you. You don't need an accountant. You don't need whatever it is. I'm not telling you to fire everyone right now. You might want to keep some advisors on board depending on how big your business is. But if it's just you, maybe a couple of employees, you can literally now do most of this with AI. And now think about what this all normally costs you, right? All these retainers or, employee costs. And this is literally maybe $20, maybe $100 if you're on the Max or the Pro Max plan, but it all really adds up to something sustainably if you use this regularly and you keep it all in here. So it all adds up. And honestly, does this replace a CFO in enterprise companies? Probably not yet, right? But for many small business owners, it's quite a hike from, let's say you're at 50K a month and you're thinking about now taking this professionally and start to hire these people. It gets really expensive real fast. This small business plugin is probably going to help a lot of you out. Just get that gap, initially going from 50 to your 300K a month without needing to stress all these extra costs, and just having something professionally organized, plus being able to work on your constraints and being able to understand exactly what's holding you back. Now, one thing that the AI doesn't really do is it will not understand your intricate details of your leads and your work. As you've seen before, when I did the workflow, it said, hey, your CRM pipeline is completely dead. I know it's not, but it will not understand this. So I would always recommend, before you go into this, go do some cleanup, right? Take a couple minutes, go look at your CRM, clean up your leads and stuff like that. You can even do so in a separate CoWork chat where you plug into MCP server and say, okay, let's look at my calls, let's tag everything properly, let's make sure we mark the no-shows and so on, so that you have a clean slate to start with. Then week 1, you start with one workflow, you do the business pulse thing, you look at what's there, you add some more connectors. You don't need to add everything at once. It's really fine to just take it slow. You saw I just added one, I added a custom one, and I added another custom one, and it completely did exactly what I wanted it to do. So week 2, you can start adding some other things like invoice chasing, maybe QuickBooks, this and that, and it will draft the emails for you. You don't need to worry. Like, it will not connect to Gmail and just start sending people emails. It will draft it for you, and then you can go reread it and send it out if you're happy with it. And 2 weeks in, you'll literally be able to look at your morning briefing, your invoices, right? Everything there, and you can start to automate things. You'll have this here under scheduled tasks, and you can just go put a new task there. As soon as you have a routine and a skill that you like to run and you understand the outputs and it's good, then you can just go add this here and say, okay, now run this every morning, run this every week. Per the example with the invoices, you could say, hey, every week I want you to look at all the invoices that were not paid and draft an email to chase down this invoice, and you're good to go. If you'd like to see some more of these customized plugin or some separate setups, like for example, how we use it with Shopify, because we do have an e-commerce company as well, I'm happy to record one of those videos as well and show you the breakdown on how it looks like. For example, if you're running an e-commerce company and you want to use CoWork to break that all down. If you want to go deeper into the call section, leave that in the comments as well, and I'll give you a breakdown on how I manage a business like our marketing agency that runs on booked calls and closing clients there. So let me know in the comments what you want to see next. If you want all of the resources that I shared in this video, I'm going to link them right below in the school community here. I'm going to go put them in the classroom, and I'm going to go create this tab called resources, and I will add them all in here so that you can go find them. All right, see you in the next one.